Huda is crazy. We know this. Was she acting very crazy this episode? Yes. But I personally feel like her crash out in this episode was valid. Like I've been saying this whole time, it isn't just Huda. I feel like Huda's catching a lot of the heat. People are even trying to make Jeremiah the victim. They are both questionable. Has Huda exhibited more questionable behavior than Jeremiah? Yes. But Jeremiah, I have to agree with Ace, is giving scammy vibes. He said it himself. He thinks that him and Huda are going to make it to the end and win. Win, in brackets, and basically win this 100k. That's been his goal. That's been his motive, locking in with Huda day one. Has he liked her? Yes. The baby's come along. He's, factored that in. But his eyes has always been on the prize. And now that America has basically told him all of this love bombing and hard work and lying has been for nothing, now he's switching up on Huda. In the beginning of the episode, she's talking about, I'm still going to be with Huda. I'm going to miss sleeping in Huda's bed. You can go check up on her. She's distraught. She almost could have got kicked out. All the boys are chatting shit about her. He didn't even go to check up on her, ask her if she's okay, minimum. He's talking about, oh, so much has happened with Charlie going. I'm just going to check up on her tomorrow. What? He's trying to say, oh, he's drained, he has no energy, but he had energy to converse with other people. He had energy to go talk with Austin and chat shit about Ace and them. He had energy to go check up on Iris, see if she was okay. But for Huda, he has nothing. And that's because he's run out of love bomb gas. So, of course, Huda's going to crash out. This man is claiming that he's all about her, that he really cares about her and all of this stuff. Yes, the whole relationship has been delusional, but he's been feeding into her delusions. And now she's thinking, he hasn't even come to... I could have literally left today and he hasn't even came to check up on me once. That's a huge disrespect. Huge disrespect. So, her crashing out, her calling him a bitch in the shower, I get it. And I think it's justified. Was it over the top? Yes. But like I said, I can understand her crashing out because you're claiming you're all about me. You claiming you care about me so much. And you can't even check in on me. After the night that I've had, you can't even check on me. So at this point, she's even going back and forth about, what this vote actually means. Does it mean that America hates me and they don't want me with Jeremiah? Does it mean that they love me and they don't want me for Jeremiah? Do they feel like we're not compatible? Do they think we're toxic? Do they think that he's a love bomber? He's a liar? Because the girls are, saying, it could be either or. So she's probably now internalized that it's because Jeremiah is fake, because he's a scammer, because he's a love bomber. All of the things that he said to her are not true. Because if the things that he said were true, he would have went to check up on her. Now, because she said, oh, fuck you, you're a bitch. Now he's talking about, I'm dropping her. She's cooked. She's this and that. And that's because, like I said, because because America has split them up, Jeremiah's thinking all that work, all that love bombing has been for nothing. I'm not even going to win. America doesn't even want me to win the 100k with Huda. So now I'm dropping her. Next, they're talking about she's cooked. I don't want nothing to do with her. I'm just going to move on now. After you were doing all that. After you're going to do all that. And she's crazy. So this was automatically going to be the reaction. So we see the couples, they go off on this date. Huda's still upset. She's crying all the time. They come back from this date. Again, Jeremiah is avoiding Huda. Huda is getting more and more agitated, getting more and more irate. The girls are speaking to each other. The boys are speaking to each other. The new bombshells are speaking to each other in another section. Huda sees the perfect opportunity to go and basically snoop in on the boys' conversation. And in the boys' conversation that she's snooping in, and this was even crazy, she went to pretend she was going to the bathroom and then basically hid behind a wall and then even took her shoes off to get closer without being detected. Like, that was fucking crazy. But it was entertaining to watch. I was like, you know what? Yeah, go get the tea. She's hearing him basically saying, oh, I would have rather that she went home. She's cooked. She was talking to me crazy. I want to be with Iris now, basically. Like I said, we know Huda's crazy. Jeremiah know Huda's crazy. And like I said, he's been love bombing crazy. And within 24 hours, he's dropping her like that. Of course she's gonna fucking crash out. And crash out she does. She's crashing out. She's saying, fuck you, you're a pussy, you're a bitch, you're all this stuff. And like I said, I get it. Was she doing a lot? Yes, but I get it. I feel like the crash out was valid. She goes to Iris. She's basically asking them how the date went. She's saying it went good, it went well, but she's not really saying the truth about how Jeremiah was basically saying that she's cooked and he's done with her. But to be fair, Alondra could have disclosed that as well, because Alondra was there when he was talking about she's cooked. I don't want nothing to do with her, but Alondra kept quiet. And it seems like all the girls are keeping quiet because they know that Hood is a crash out. There's nothing that they can say that's going to calm her down. They're trying to calm her down, and she's just going off on one. So they're just basically leaving her to have her crash out, leaving her to be in her delusional. After that, she's talking about Iris. She's weird. She's keeping information from me. And it's just like, Iris has no loyalty to you, and you're moving crazy, and she's just met you, and she's met you in your craziest form already. So, of course, she's going to be a bit wary and not going to want to disclose things because, you know, she's trying to stay here as well, and Jeremiah might be an option. So she's just spiraling. She's crazy. And then at the very end of the episode, now Jeremiah decides he wants to come talk to her and apologize. And I feel like the only reason why he even apologized is because Nick checked him in a conversation, basically saying, like, you know, it was mad that you didn't go check up on her. And as a man, you should have went to check up on her to see if she was all right. And basically, that's the reason why she crashed out. And on top of that, Ace is basically saying, like, this is why you shouldn't have gone and love bombed her crazy, because this is going to be the reaction when you're now moving mad like this. So, like I said, at the end of the episode, he goes to pull her, takes her to the speakeasy, tries to apologize, and she obviously goes off on him and is basically like, you left me, I was crying all day, you didn't come check up on me. He's using the excuse that he checked out and, you know, he was tired, Charlie left, it was a long day, blah, blah, blah. She's calling him selfish, and he's just basically like, what? I don't have time for this. I'm not here for this, blah, 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 blah. And Huda says that she's done. Will they be done? I don't know. I just feel like it should be done now. It's toxic. Jeremiah, he's exhausted. He doesn't want to love bomb anymore. And he's seeing that this relationship is not fruitful anymore. And that's why he's trying to dip and leave her for Iris. So yeah, I do think that the crash out from Huda is valid. At the end of the day, we all saw Jeremiah love bombing her. Let's not forget that. Is Huda crazy? Is she over the top? Yes, but at the same time, Jeremiah's been doing a madness, and we must not forget that. We must not forget that. But personally, I think this should be the end of Jeremiah and Huda. I don't know. Jeremiah could definitely move on and still have a good time. But can Huda? I'm not sure if she's going to be able to make a new connection. And I think maybe it might be for the best that Huda goes home. Because, yeah. It's just like Hurricane Huda. No one wants to... Everybody's walking on eggshells. I think it's time for her to go. A lot of people are saying that, you know, they think that she's mentally unstable, all of this stuff. I mean, it's kind of giving that, to be honest. It's kind of giving that, you know, where do we draw the line between this is too crazy and this is entertainment? Because she's providing the entertainment. So I got to hear from you guys. Do we think Huda's crash out was valid? What do we think about Jeremiah? Is he the victim in all this, or do we feel like he needs to be held to account as well? Does Huda need to be removed to the house? Is this getting too crazy now? And what do you think is going to happen next with this recoupling? I got to hear from you guys.